Thank you for joining me here today at Movie Review Mom. Today I am reviewing the movie Colette. I even wore a little black and white shirt because she does in the movie, and then all of the other French women and girls start imitating her. So that's my little tribute to Colette. I was really excited about this movie, first of all, because it's about a female author, and I have published 24 books. In fact, my newest one just hits bookstores this week. So I'm super excited. But anyway, so I'm always really interested to learn about other authors. This is a true story about Gabrielle Colette. She lived in France and she was a writer. And if you've ever seen the movie Big Eyes, which I recommend, it was really well done. This is similar, at least the story is, in the sense that it's a woman who's successful at her craft, in this case writing, and yet she lived back in the 1800s, turn of the century really, and had to use her husband's name. So it's all about gender equality and identity and standing up for yourself and that kind of thing. However, I need to give you a quick warning, and that is that when I first looked up the movie on Rotten Tomatoes, it was listed as PG-13. So I was like, yay! I'm always happy when there's a PG-13 movie, because then at least it's got a better chance of being family friendly, right? And that's what we do here at Movie Review Mom. However, as I watched the movie, I thought, this is got to be a rated R movie. There's lots of sex and infidelity and lesbianism and two bare-chested women in two different scenes. And sex is a huge part of the story. And I was like, this has got to be a rated R movie. Well, turns out, I guess it is. I don't know. It's listed as rated R on IMDb. I don't know if that's the ultimate source, but Rotten Tomatoes got it wrong. So for part of the reason why I gave this movie the grade that I did was, I guess, shock value, because I thought I was reviewing a rated PG movie. It's actually, I mean, I gave this movie a B-. And I'll tell you why. Well, part of it, like I said, was because I was like, what's going on? And then part of it was just like, it just seemed gratuitous. Yes, there probably was a lot of sex going on in the story, but really the part that intrigued me was the fact that she was a female author and her identity was stolen from her, in the sense that she couldn't reveal that she was the author of these books. And I wanted to explore that more. So that kind of turned me off from the very beginning. It's very artistic. It has Keira Knightley. Everybody loves her, and she does a great job. She's a French woman with a British accent, of course, but she's very, very good. Some of the themes are obviously gender equality, double standards, persistence, independence, marriage, infidelity, forgiveness, betrayal. And one of the lines that I liked was a character who tells Colette, she says, "No one can take away who you are." And I like that, and I wanted to focus on that as far as the theme. Other actors involved in the movie were Dominic West, and he was very good, I thought, although I did not like his character, basically because he had no character, in the sense that he had no integrity. I mean, what a scoundrel. And it just, it amazes me that she would stay with him as long as she did. Spoiler alert, she left him. But back in the day, turn of the century, women were kind of trapped in marriages like that. They didn't have economic power to leave a husband. Certainly if he was providing. What's the twist on that is that she was the one that was providing with all of her best-selling novels. And so as the century progressed, as she got older, she was able to insert her dominance, maybe not dominance, might not be the right word, but be able to finally claim who she was and not depend on a man. And anyway, so I thought that part of the story was really interesting. The movie was actually filmed in Budapest, even though it's supposed to take place in France. Budapest is gorgeous as well. And in fact, I recently did an interview with a friend of mine who directed a movie in Budapest. I guess is the correct way to say it. Anyway, so you'll have to watch my interview with the director or co-director, co-writer of The Last Captain. So check that out on Movie Review. And back to this movie. There were beautiful costumes. Set designs were great. It's very artsy, very beautiful. And I love that at the end of any biopic that you get to see the real pictures or sometimes video footage, in this case just pictures of the real Colette at the end of the movie. Just makes her feel so real, and I admire her for many of her qualities. The things that I didn't like obviously were some of the characters, because of the dishonesty that was rampant in most of these characters. I just don't like that. I look for characters with integrity that I can, show to my kids and say, look at that amazing example. So there was a lot of that lacking in this movie, other than Colette stood up for herself. And lately, I don't know, in the last 5 years especially, it seems like we've seen a lot of female empowerment movies. And this is certainly one of those that falls into that category. I guess I was just disappointed because, like I mentioned 1,000 times already, sex was such a big part of it. And I wanted to see more about families and her career, I guess, more than all of that kind of stuff. Some people will think that this movie is very brave and enlightened, and that sexuality is a part of all of that, which it is. And other people will be very critical of the depravity and the sexual scandal that really seem to be the focus of the story. And let's see, what else can I tell you about it? There's some funny lines. I'm looking at my list of lines. Colette is married to a man named Willie, and he's just a brute, really. He farts in front of her, and she says, Willie. And he says, I thought this was funny. He says, intimacy in all its savage abandon. And I really like the way that people talk back then. Just the way that they express themselves is so entertaining. And then after, of course, Colette finds out that Willie has been having all these rampant affairs, he apologizes and begs for forgiveness. And he says, you mean more to me than all the women of Paris put together. And she says, have you slept with them all? And then another scene after he knows he's in trouble again, she's in the kitchen chopping knives with her mom. And he walks in and he says, women, knives, all very Greek. Anyway, I won't spoil all of the other fun lines. There are some other interesting lines, and I include all of that in my written reviews at moviereviewmom.com. So if you're intrigued with this movie and would like to know more, go visit my written website reviews at moviereviewmom.com. And while you're here, subscribe to Movie Review Mom on the YouTube channel. Ring that little bell, like it, tell your friends about it. If you're looking for movies that are family friendly, or if you are interested in other movies and want to know how appropriate or inappropriate they might be for your kids, that's what I'm here for, to help you navigate Hollywood and some of those crazy box office blunders. Anyway, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you next time.